Hi, we all love our kids and we don't want anything wrong at all happening to them. But it is an inescapable fact that kids can also at times get seriously ill. They can also have life-threatening diseases. I know this is something that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to think about, but this is a fact of life. So how do we know that my kid is seriously unwell, critically unwell, needs immediate help? Let's see what can we do about it. Hi, my name is Dr. Agnisekhar Saha. I am a pediatrician and more importantly, a pediatric intensivist. Let me explain a bit what is a pediatric intensivist because our species is not so common. Kids can also get seriously unwell just like adults, and so just like adult ICU, there are also pediatric ICU. So intensive care units for kids where we look after kids who have life-threatening diseases who are critically unwell, and I look after those seriously unwell kids. So let's first figure out what are the signs that can happen at home which will tell me that something is seriously wrong with my kid. Okay? Many of them are common senses, some of them may not be so. One is if your child is unconscious. I think it is sort of, of course, obvious. If your kid is unconscious, then either blood is not flowing through the brain or your brain is not acting properly. Both are very serious conditions. So then you need to come to the emergency fast. Number two, if the kid is drowsy. And what do you mean by drowsy? By drowsy, I mean if the kid is sleeping, but it takes much more effort to awake the kid. Okay, it is very difficult to awake the kid. So that is drowsy, and that is basically earlier is almost going to be unconscious soon. So if that happens, that is also very serious. Number three, convulsion or seizures. Again, this is a no-brainer, pretty simple. If they look quite distressing, everybody will bring them to A&E anyway. Number four, extreme fatigue. Kids are, by their nature, they are very active and happy, unlike us adults. They are by nature active, happy, full of life. So if a kid is showing extreme fatigue, do not want to do anything, do not want to move, then that is something, and goes limp, then that is something that can be extremely serious. Either there is not enough circulation, or there is some serious infection going around, or there will be something metabolically wrong. So they also need urgent attention. Number four, breathing difficulty. The breathing difficulty can be a cause of, can originate either from the lung, sometimes from the heart. But if your kid is struggling to breathe, that means he is either breathing fast or he is breathing very deep and he is taking quite a lot of effort to breathe. And sometimes they may coexist. They are breathing fast and with a lot of effort. Then that is bad. Your kid may need some support with the breathing, and that can be given only in an ICU. With the corona thing, a lot of us will have a saturation monitor, a sort of pulse oximeter at our house. If you have, you can also measure the saturation, and if the saturation is sort of somewhere in the low 90s or high 80s, that is also quite bad. Number five, if there is any change in complexion, that is, your kid is looking unusually pale, or even worse, looking blue. If a kid is looking blue or unusually pale, that again means the circulation is getting affected, not enough oxygen is reaching to the peripheries, and your kid need help fast. Okay? So any of these things happening, please do not waste time. Time is important. I do not want to scare you people out. I have many sort of reassuring videos, but believe me, these signs, they can be seriously wrong. Not all the time. Sometimes it may not be something really serious, but it is always, if you are having any of these, do come to the emergency and get medical help. And while taking this, I will just say one thing, that if the kid needs an ICU, it is always better to keep them in a pediatric ICU. That is an ICU which is dedicated for kids, for children. It is not really good to treat a pediatric critically ill patient in an adult ICU. That used to happen in the past, but we have moved ahead. There are dedicated ICUs for kids, and they are becoming more and more common now. So if your kid is really unwell, they deserve to be treated in a dedicated pediatric ICU. Thank you.